Welcome to Cabo San Lucas. I decided to treat my mom to her first ever cruise, and not only was it her first cruise, but my first time sailing on Princess cruises as well. On today's video, we'll show you the ship and the entertainment, including a rock concert, 2 amazing stage shows, and comedians. We'll also show you the incredible game shows, the bars, restaurants, and of course, our amazing day in Cabo San Lucas with an excursion to San Jose del Cabo, a glass-blowing factory, and some authentic Mexican food. It's all coming up right now on Travel Symphony. We booked a premium balcony room on Majestic Princess, as this ship does not have weekly cruises out of Los Angeles, and I really wanted to try a Princess cruise. The bed not only looked fantastic, but I'd say the mattress and the pillows were probably the best I've ever experienced on a cruise ship. There was also a nice sofa that folds out to a bed, plus a nice desk and chair with a top drawer and a hair dryer. We also had a nice fridge, and there was also a 50-inch TV. But the biggest shocker was this huge closet that honestly feels like a land-based hotel room. With its standard closet and lots of hangers, we also got a very, very nice bathroom, and although it was a little tight on space, we made it work for us just fine. I went ahead and booked a premium balcony, which came with extra space to stretch out with 2 chairs, ottomans, and a large table. We also had a unique view of the cabins above us and the bridge. My mom immediately loved the views from the balcony, maybe not as much today, but certainly as the cruise went along. And now it was time to go to the sail away party.
Did you know that, folks? We are the original Love Boat Cruise Line. That means that we bring the love in every
Love Boat.
And one of the things that I love above all else is I love to dance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for you. Don't go anywhere. You guys on the stage.
Anybody waving back?
Yeah, they are. Look at me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they are, aren't they? That's cool.
After the sail away and before our first dinner, we enjoyed our balcony.
So quiet out here.
For our first dining experience, we enjoyed the Concerto Dining Room, which is one of 3 on the ship. Each dining room has either reservation-based seating or My Time dining, where you basically just show up to eat. We found that dining early is the key, and I was honestly shocked that with the amount of older and somewhat retired folks on this ship, the early bird dinner would reign supreme, but that just wasn't the case, and we were seated by the window. Over the course of 5 nights at dinner, we found out that the average time for most folks was around 7 p.m. for dinner. In fact, when we started dining at 5, we were usually done around 7 to 7:15, and there was a line of folks trying to get in. After dinner, we went straight into the evening 7:30 p.m. entertainment with Stephanie Hodgkin's She Will Rock You. Stephanie belted out rock tune after rock tune and blew away the audience, and this was by far my mother's favorite show during our 5-day trip. Let's check it out. As you can see and hear, the show was incredible. We then walked out into the piazza for a serious disco dance party with an amazing live band. This would end our first night out. Our TV said the ship was making its way down the Baja Peninsula, and day 2 was our day at sea before arrival in Cabo. So we decided to order breakfast in and enjoy the breathtaking views from our balcony. In the buffet marketplace, we had some iced teas and salads for a light lunch, and then we went exploring the ship. One of the areas we really loved was the aft of the ship on deck 16 called the Wake View Bar. Aptly named, this bar offers a large seating area to admire the wake and the surrounding vistas. You can also grab some food at the buffet and head outside here. Further exploring the ship, we went back to the piazza, which seemed to have some sort of dance party at all hours of the day and night till 1 a.m. I also got to check out how a medallion class ship works. Basically, your medallion is a GPS transmitter where you can not only find where your party is located, but Princess can also find you. This allows the waitstaff to bring drinks or food you order directly to your table, whether you're in the piazza or the Crown Grill we are walking through now. Next up was our first day of bingo, and it looks like we have a big line. It took us about 15 minutes to get situated for bingo, but once we did, we had a great time, and we actually won nothing. But after that, we went back to the piazza for refreshment and just couldn't get enough of this piazza. My mom and I were in awe of this the entire trip, and we found ourselves here often. For night two's dinner in the Concerto dining room, we were seated at the window again. The menu for the second night had some serious favorites like red snapper, duck a la orange, and roasted beef tenderloin. I also loved the captain's message and the menu, a very nice touch. Then it was off to the first major production show in the Princess Theater. After the amazing production show, it was now 10 p.m. and time for some late night comedy. Tonight's comedy was Kevin Jordan, and he was excellent. Kevin is a former Los Angeles police officer, so he carries a large flashlight for audience interrogations.
Ship is this? How do I get in on it? That's what I want to know. No. Because it didn't meet Hallmark's criteria for a Christmas movie. You ever seen a Hallmark Christmas movie? They're all the same. It's like the hot woman, and she lives in the big city, and she goes to the small town, she meets a hot guy, and he has a little chocolate shop. Now she has to decide whether she's going to go back to the big city, get her dream job, or stay in the small town, and eat chocolate for love. Merry Christmas.
We had a very big night, number 2. Between the shows, the comedy, and dinner, it was time to relax in the Crown Bar with an amazing piano player and get ready for Cabo San Lucas in the morning. Yeah. After taking in the long cruise into Cabo San Lucas, we went ahead and started getting ready for our tender to take us to port. I took a picture of this TV's bridge cam, which honestly looked just like a postcard. The tender we took into Cabo was actually one of the lifeboats from the ship. They lower them into the water, and then they have them for ship transfers. There was also regular blue and white tenders from Cabo locally as well. The boat was packed, and if you've ever wondered how many people you can fit in one of these things, now you know. We purchased the Best of Cabo San Lucas tour, which takes you on an air-conditioned motor coach to San Jose del Cabo. This town is about 20 miles from Cabo, and this is also where the international airport is located. The first stop on our tour was the Sunset Mona Lisa restaurant. Not only can you eat here for dinner, but the Mona Lisa's specialty is private gatherings and weddings, and you can see why. It's one of the most beautiful views in all of Cabo. You can even see our cruise ships in the distance. After the Sunset Mona Lisa restaurant, our next stop on the tour was our ultimate destination, San Jose del Cabo. This had to be the most disappointing part of this trip simply because we didn't have enough time. 45 minutes is all we got to tour this beautiful city, and we didn't want to go too far for fear we wouldn't make it back to our bus on time. We broke from the tour group, had a delicious gelato, toured some jewelry shops, but again, had no time for any serious shopping. The next and last stop on our tour was the Glass Factory. Famous for their unique creations, this shop collects all of the bottles from the resorts, restaurants, bars, and general recycling, turning these unwanted bottles into beautiful glass-blowing creations. We witnessed a glass turtle being made right in front of our eyes. The way the glass looks like some kind of syrup is pretty wild and extremely hot. This takes about a day of cooling before sale to the public. Speaking of public sales, their store was amazing. The blown glass tile roof was really neat. There were also tons of glassware like margarita glasses, and we also loved this glass chapel. This glass is really beautiful. This is all their glass. They've done all of this. My mom fell in love with this glass Christmas tree and had to take something home with her. It's beautiful, yeah, look at that. It's like a glass tree with glass everything. Unfortunately, they don't ship glass back home to the USA. We did, though, wind up buying 2 glass candy canes from this tree as we could put them in her purse. Next up, we took an Uber from the bus stop to Edith's restaurant. This place was recommended by my wife's boss, and we have to agree between the atmosphere and the food, you couldn't go wrong. The night started off with this leather-bound menu with a huge selection of items that spanned many different areas. You had traditional Mexican dishes, very authentic, and even a section with more Americanized Mexican dishes for folks who weren't so daring. Instead of traditional chips and salsa, we got an amazing complimentary chicken tostada to begin our culinary journey. I ordered a filet mignon with an enchilada, quesadilla, rice, and beans, while my mom had chicken enchiladas, which in her opinion, she said these were the best she's ever had. Plus, she also loved the refried beans and the rice. Plus, I just couldn't get enough of this filet these folks grilled on an open flame right when you walk in the restaurant. It's not just a restaurant, but it's a complete experience. We Ubered back from Edith's, and I gotta say, $4.95 to get from Edith's to the cruise pier was an absolute steal. We then got back on the tender at about 9:30 p.m. to head back with a big portion of our ship's excursion folks. This was an absolutely beautiful night, so beautiful that I'm gonna let this video play as we approach Majestic Princess from a tender in Cabo on a beautiful evening. Enjoy. The next morning was picture perfect, and we wound up staying on the ship on day 2 in Cabo, as we felt that there really wasn't much time to do anything unless you got off the ship at 7 or 8 a.m. till noon. So we just kind of were wiped out after a long day in Cabo, so we just decided to take it easy and enjoy watching the tenders go back and forth and all the jet skiers and all the other stuff that was going on out on the water all day long. And we also saw a sea turtle. After everyone was back on ship, they decided to take the lifeboat tenders and put them back where they belong. It's kind of interesting watching them do this little process. Leaving Cabo. How beautiful that is. Next up was lunch at Alfredo's. This pizza restaurant is actually a free sit-down dining option. Yes, we were seated right next to the window again. I had the pepperoni and Mom had the pesto veggie pizza. This special pizza was an extra cost option.
Yes, that is the pizza. It is absolutely delicious. Look at this thing. There is a pesto veggie pizza. Wow. That's delicious, huh?
I've ever had.
I know. This is the conservatory. This is at the very front of the ship. And it's really, really quiet. If you just want a place to hang out and just do nothing, this is the place to do it. And what's cool is at the very front of the ship. So you can actually look right over the front here, the bow. Look at that. I hear birds in here. That must be piped in. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the whale tail. And you can watch the game. Pittsburgh is losing. Oh, somebody watching the game? Oh, she is? Look at that.
My mom and I really enjoyed the indoor pool area, and though it was not designated as an adults area, I really saw no mayhem going on in here, and we relaxed in one of these free cabanas for hours. It had speakers and a fan and a beautiful view.
We're at Marriage Match. The wacky game show. Uh-oh. Here it goes. Marriage Match.
Marriage Match was the activity after lunch, and it was fantastic. If you've ever watched the classic television game show, The Newlywed Game, then you pretty much got the hang of it. There were 3 couples of varying wedding ages. A newlywed, a couple married for 4 years, and a couple married for 50 years. It was a blast, and it was even broadcast out to the staterooms. Since my mom and I had a late lunch at Alfredo's, we decided to skip dinner and head right over to the 7:30 show, which was Fieri. It was absolutely fantastic stage show, and let's check out the highlights.
it shouldn't be tough, and moms should raise their kids at home. But baby, I know that isn't true, cause your mama was the toughest diamond.
And we're surprised. Don't be afraid, we'll entertain you. Just open up your eyes. So stop and look and stop.
We are on our last sea day and we are off the coast of Baja, California. We're probably about halfway between Los Angeles and Cabo San Lucas, and there's a couple of random little islands out there. Right there is land, folks. Christopher Columbus, there's land.
Next up was Deal or No Deal. I was actually called up on stage and played the whole game to the end, and I wound up winning $300 in cash. I not only had a blast, but I was a celebrity on the ship for the rest of the day.
15. What else?
4.
All right, 15, 13, and 4. Those are your numbers?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's open up case 15. Come on, quarter. All right. And you said 13 next, is that right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Let's open up case number 13. Come on, 25 cents. Come on, quarter. And case number 4. Come on, quarter. All right, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's say that.
After the game show, my mom and I sat down sadly for our last dinner of the cruise. The farewell menu was wonderful, and we even got seated close to the window for a big win when it came to dining locations all week long. Excuse the portrait shot of our salmon and the bacon-wrapped meatloaf, which was absolutely wonderful. And then we had this apple pie a la mode with this vanilla syrup on the side to finish it all off. It was a great, great meal to a great ending of a fantastic cruise. Yes, we had a crazy cruise director who sings and dances at the farewell party, and my mother got to see Stephanie Hodgkin bust out additional 80s tunes for 45 minutes. It was an absolutely fantastic time, and let's check out the highlights.
Your host, your cruise director, me!
Saturday night. I'm a half pound high and the baby looks so right. Well, I think you would pretend gotta have you home too. Your mama don't know what I got, it's all for you, but that's alright. Cause look at it as good as me. Yeah!
After Stephanie's amazing show, we caught one more dance party in the Piazza to close out the cruise. It was a sad night for us for sure, and we definitely did not want to go back to our rooms. But we did anyway. We packed up, we had a really good night's sleep, and the next morning it was back to reality as Mom and I were grabbing our bags and Mom was taking some last-minute shots of the ship. And in that time, I was reflecting on what a great time we had. We did all kinds of cool things, like this was my first Princess cruise and my mom's first cruise ever. We got world-class entertainment with live concerts, stage shows, comedians, and game shows. We had great food, the dining was excellent, plus Cabo was a blast with a great excursion, glass blowing, and Edith's restaurant. I really couldn't have asked for more. The ship was an understated party and we really enjoyed the vibe on the ship. Not too young and not too old seems to be the Princess mantra, and we loved it. If you've enjoyed this video on Travel Symphony, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos and exciting destinations every week right here on Travel Symphony.